give him one if it takes us all summer to give it to him. Now, let's stay in there because that's what the people wanted. They said, control this bootleg thing. And what you done here, some man jumps up. Why they even take away your right to privacy in this bill and search you on information to belief. And I have an amendment here, a bunch of them to take care of. We're not talking to you about foolishness. Give the people a control bill. If you don't do it, woe be unto you when they get you on the back of that truck.
That after the House gets through with it in the next possibly 10 days, 2 weeks, at the rate we're going now, then we know that it's going to the Senate, and they're going to work it over. Then after the Senate gets through with it, then we know that it's going to conference.
This bill is designed to prohibit the giving, as your chairman suggested, Cadillac automobiles, houses, yachts, trips to Hawaii or around the world or anything else. The reason being that the more powerful and wealthy chains can give away Cadillac automobiles by pooling their resources to the disadvantage of a little independent merchant or a druggist or grocer or anything else who can't compete with that situation.
If we're really going to clean, if you're really going to cut out this element of competition that you're talking about here, for example, in these giveaways, we suggest if you really want to, you can go on further and just cut out the trading stamps.
The grocers of Oklahoma, speaking for them, and I'm sure other small business are in a similar position. We need this change in this bill. We need Senate Bill 47 passed to give us an opportunity to compete fairly in the market.
concerned about it because the fact that we have at no time had an opportunity to know what they were doing or why. We would be real happy to sit down. In fact, we have tried to find some way that we could get with them to sit down and see where they wanted to go and why, or what they wanted and what they want to do. And as of now, we've been unable to do that, and we still haven't learned who is responsible.
All of the people who are in the business of developing areas are eager to try to work out a plan where all the cities or all the developments could come up to a good standard, and I believe if the officials, maybe the planning commissions or whoever should set in on those, I believe they could get a real good plan, and it would be worth something to, I feel, to Oklahoma City, as well as to the smaller ones, because, well, Oklahoma City is, naturally they're trying to surround all the areas, possibly with an idea in mind of, at some time or another, annexing the smaller cities, if at all possible. I feel that if all are concerned with the same problems and all work at eliminating the same problems, then it'll be much easier for everyone concerned.
This incorporating of the other smaller communities, do you think this is the ultimate goal behind Oklahoma City's annexation plan?
It's hard to say what other people have in their mind, but knowing what has taken place a couple of years ago or so, it looks like that perhaps they're working toward that if they can find a plan.
Mr. Bullock, what is your main objection to the annexing procedure the city seems to be into now?
Well, it appears to me that the annexing plan is being made by someone outside of city government.
Do you think it's economically feasible for the city to annex these huge areas of land?
Well, I think it should be annexed normally as it's needed, because the city hall will find itself unable to provide the services which it is morally or legally obligated to give these additional areas.
How do you think the tremendous area we've taken in the last 4 to 5 months will affect our budget?
Well, of course, Shell Sterling could tell you more about that than I. But if we are now having trouble servicing the areas within Oklahoma City prior to the annexation, I hardly see how with the same money they can furnish the same or as good services to the additionally annexed areas. I think the chief benefits, that is the financial benefits of great growth, are by those few institutions or individuals who own the property in the paths of progress, or who have acquired industrial property and which is made valuable by public improvements which are paid for by all of the people.
now what do you think these committee members that worked on this bill, how do you think they feel about this thing? They go in there and they work hard on the bill. You rise here on the floor and just wipe it out. No, sit down now. I'm not going to answer. You can speak on your own when you get through. Yeah, this is the very procedure that you've followed ever since I've been in the House in 1951. You've never been satisfied with any committee report that's ever happened. Now, I'm not personal, no. Richard...
We were watching real close to see if you weren't, Mr. Speaker.
Richard and I are pretty good friends. You might as well wipe out your committee. Somebody might as well get to the floor right now and move that we strike all the committees. Now, you talk about asinine and silly and frivolous. Now, I think all of you better sit down and talk to yourself just a little bit. Of course, now, you may say this, Sparkman's not the floor leader. I grant you I'm not. But I'm just one fellow sits back here. And if you're not going to pay any more attention to what you're doing than here, why, you don't know whether you're even going to comb your hair or wind your watch. Gentlemen, there's nothing personal about this. The only thing is I think it's darn poor procedure.